this life, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala prescribed in many places in the Holy Quran, is a test. It's a challenge. And it is لِيَبْلُوَكُمْ أَيُّكُمْ أَحْسَنُ عَمَلًا. Who is the best? Who can do what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asks us to do? And in the process, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who knows our nature, He will see if we have that quality which will make us deserving the rewards, which is the quality of sabr. And sabr has been mentioned in Surah Yusuf that we recited part of it twice. When Sayyidina Yaqub alayhi salam lost Yusuf, and they come to tell him falsely that ذهبنا نستبق وتركنا يوسف عند متاعنا فأكله الذئب وما أنت بمؤمن لنا ولو كنا صادقين قال بل سولت لكم أنفسكم أمرا فصبر جميل والله المستعان على ما تصفون. صبر جميل. And in the other, when they come back and they said that إن ابنك سرق, that your son have stolen the صواع الملك, which is the mikyal, or the measurement that they used to use it for weighing the wheat and the corn and the other supplies. قال بل سولت لكم أنفسكم أمرا فصبر جميل عسى الله أن يأتيني بهم جميعا. This attitude toward ibtila, toward the challenge or the musibah. The musibah repeated twice in the same form, which is losing sons. The first one is beloved Yusuf alayhi salam, the most beautiful and the most beloved to his father. And then his brother Binyamin, as it's been reported, also in the same way that is fabricated. It's not true. It's not reality. So sometimes the sabr need to be first jameel, which means with patience and dedication to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Nobody will live this life without challenges, without ibtila, tests, one way or another. Either in his nafs, and or his health, or his wealth, or family, or calamity that hits everybody. You know, earthquake, wars, disease, problems, everything is possible. So our attitude should be similar to Sayyidina Yaqub alayhi salam, أن يكون لنا أو عندنا أو فينا صبر جميل, which is احتساب للأجر من الله سبحانه وتعالى for being patient and wise about it. This subject is big, but briefly. First, صبر for the mu'min على الطاعات, to obey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, not to complain like Sayyidina Yaqub alayhi salam. قال فصبر جميل. He did not say, why ya Allah, this son, take another one, or why my son, why not his son or her son. And he did not complain against Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. فصبر على الطاعات, to obey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in any of the qadr that hit us. And الطاعات, you may say, what? صبر على الطاعات, that's mean if I have to pay some money, or I have to pray, or go for hajj, it needs sabr. It needs a lot of sabr. Imagine how much sabr each one of us today had to wake up early, to make wudu, to drive, to come to the masjid and to pray. That is blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And it takes sabr. And even salawat every day. It's ibadah. But you need a lot of sabr. Imagine, as we said sometimes, tilawa. Just tilawat Quran. It needs a lot of sabr. To make sure that you are obeying Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as long as you live. وَعْبُدْ رَبَّكَ حَتَّى يَأْتِيَكَ الْيَقِينَ. That continuity, that patience, that persistence, needs a lot of صبر. وصبر آخر هو صبر عن المعاصي. That you have صبر, patience, not to fall into the معصية, the violation. That is easy. The معصية, dear brothers and sisters, is almost all over around us. And sometimes so easy. And is like soliciting you, saying, come here and do this. Free drink, free lotto, free, معصية of another kind. And معصية, sometimes you don't think of it, like talking, wasting time, ignoring the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Why? I am busy. Not even coming to the masjid once a week, for Jumu'ah. What's happening? Where are you? We haven't seen you. Oh, busy and life. And this is where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, نسوا الله فأنساهم أنفسهم. Forget about Allah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made them forget about who they are, what they are created for. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسَ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ. And here you are not doing that ibadah. Finally and briefly, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants us to be patient when the calamity hits. When it's really tests come to, as we said, to us. And one of the probably hardest tests, that the one that hit the nafs. Hit the nafs, and then the person doesn't know who they are, who he is, and who they are as a community. And that happened to Bani Israel in the history, as you know, when Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam was crossing them from Egypt they got lost. They got lost after they did not have that strong iman. They started worshipping cows, cattle, made of gold. And then they lost. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, okay, get lost. 40 years. يَسِيحُونَ فِي الْأَرْضِ. And unfortunately, sometimes when you get lost, it takes a lot. It takes 10, 15 years, maybe more. Imagine like young man, for example, drop out of the high school, start here and there, right and left, and then after 10, 15, maybe 20 years, wake up, oh my God, what did I do to my life? I have to go back to school. I have to start this. I have to start that, and so on and so forth. And so many people will not wake up. So to lose yourself is very big calamity. But the other calamities that we know, whether in health or the families or disasters or disease or problems, that's all need صبر جميل قبول بقضاء الله وقدره. Al-ibtila'at in this life will never stop. If it is to be stopped or to be lenient or simple, it would have been to the prophets of Allah. And the hardest test was to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, where he had to face all kind of challenges from even early age of his life, being orphaned, being alone, struggling, and then of course have family, and within that lose some of his children, then get evicted from his home and struggle throughout his life for the da'wah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us patience and that the kind of sabr, sabrun jameel, and may Allah accept our perseverance and sabr and reward us for that, as he said subhanahu wa ta'ala, إنما يوفى الصابرون أجرهم بغير حساب. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم، واغفر لنا يا مولانا إنك أنت الغفور الرحيم. وصل اللهم على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. Please join